It's the Virgin Australia Lounge in Melbourne. It's a light, bright lounge with lots of room and, crucially, lots of seats. 600 of them to be precise. The lounge has had a subtle makeover by designer Tim Greer, and he's added plush wall-to-knoll chairs and is now genuinely a good place to wait for a flight. It's a big lounge too, 100 metres long from end to end with vast floor-to-ceiling windows that look out over the runway and the gates. Oddly positioned in the middle of each area are a quartet of some of the prettiest sofas available. They're also pretty uncomfortable, almost like sitting on an angled shelf, and you permanently slide off onto the ground. There's a new standalone wine bar called the Wine Down Zone. It's only staffed at the busiest of times, so typically from 3 o'clock in the afternoon onwards. There are long sweeping curved benches along the walls, and these are much more comfortable than they actually look. Underneath the benches are power sockets, and indeed there are plenty of power sockets in the lounge. There are subtly different areas with 2 big seating areas at each end of the lounge and a slightly larger, higher raised lounge in the middle. The centre of the lounge has got plenty of those classic knoll armchairs, and as you walk in there's a coffee bar called the Wake Up Zone with high tables and high bar stools and a curved white bench, again with spindly stools and power sockets. Well, this time I'm in marvellous Melbourne, and this time I'm in the Virgin Australia Lounge, and now it's been newly renovated. There are some great seats with amazing sweeping views over towards the airfield. The lounge isn't bad at all. There's some good food, and best of all, of course, there's a free bar. In the morning or the evening, it can often be hard to find another passenger, but don't worry, it will get much, much busier in the later part of the afternoon. That's when the coffee machines come in, charmingly called by Virgin the DIY Barista Zone. There's decent food in the Virgin Australia Melbourne Lounge. There's a decent salad bar, hot pies, a tub of pasta, slices of pizza, some soup and a deli-style selection of cold meat and cheeses, along with a pancake machine in the morning and wraps as well at lunchtime. Indeed, many passengers come in here just for a free feed to compensate for the lack of complimentary food on the aircraft. It really is, though, much better than it looks. Don't miss the unique Virgin Australia toasted sandwich machine. Just take the bits you need from the salad bar, from cheese to tomato. There's a cart full of chutney and sauces to pile on top of your own creation, and then you leave it all in the toasted sandwich machine to bubble away. Meanwhile, early in the morning, there's a continental breakfast offering with natural muesli, fruit, yogurt, breads, jams, and even cereal like Cocoa Pops. There's a fair amount of variety too, and some days you'll find that pizza slices are swapped in. Other times it can be a nice meaty pasta. The menu is extensive. You won't go hungry in the Virgin Lounge. The food is actually much better compared to the Qantas Lounge next door. There's hot food. There are hot sandwiches, decent salads as well, and best of all, a free bar. And just check out that bar. If you're into beer, there are lots of bottles in the fridge behind the counter, from Great Northern to Four Pines. You do, however, have to ask for the beer. However, the wine is free pour. Just walk up to the counter. There are 4 different types of red wine on the workbench and 2 types of white in a bucket on the worktop on the counter. Alas, no champagne, but some good Aussie sparkling wine. However, the drinks are not quite as top-notch as a Qantas business class lounge next door. You'll struggle to get cocktails in here. And if it all gets a little bit too hectic, queuing up at the main bar, from mid-afternoon the second bar opens. It's got beer, but no wine. From early morning, if you need that caffeine hit, there's a separate coffee bar, and a team of baristas will knock up your favourite coffee. And if tea's your thing, there's now a separate tea station with lots of types, from Earl Grey tea to Lapsang Souchong. The only challenge is actually saying it. Now, most passengers are travelling on business and indeed carrying a laptop, hence why there's not only a quieter workroom at the back of the lounge, but also 2 meeting rooms, which must boast some of the best views of any meeting room in Australia, if you like your meetings punctuated with a smell of Jet A1 in the morning. All along the windows are those loungy 1960s style laid-back chairs and indeed high coffee tables, equally another masterpiece of design over functionality. But by lunchtime, the lounge really starts to get very busy indeed. Sometimes it can be hard to find a seat in here. If you're looking for somewhere to plonk your wine glass, go as far into the lounge as you possibly can go, and at the far end, you might eventually find a seat. The Virgin Australia Melbourne Lounge is not too bad at all. The only problem is it's insanely busy. There are huge numbers of people in here, mainly because they've got access with a gold or a platinum card. But don't worry, that's all going to change. In the next few years, expect the lounges to be a lot emptier because Virgin Australia are moving to a spend-based system for their gold cards, and that means they're going to be much more difficult to obtain. There are some lovely gauze walls separating the seating area from the dining, and then higher dining benches overlooking the vast big TVs. It certainly can get very busy indeed in here, and seats by the window an absolute premium. Incidentally, this is a very historic lounge, even if it doesn't look it. This is the location of the Ansett Golden Wing Lounge, which won awards for the quality of its lounges back in 1988. And long-time viewers may remember I came here 25 years ago. Yeah, that was just when Ansett was flying its last, and then I used a BMI Gold card for access. BMI is long gone as well, and once upon a time, back then it was a haven of peace and tranquility, and all for an annual fee charged by Ansett of just $175. It's $450 a year now if you want to pay Virgin Australia to access a lounge, or a day pass costs $65. However, Virgin Australia were at one stage handing out gold cards like sweets to anybody who showed the slightest interest in the airline. Now, as Virgin moves to a spend-based system for earning points, it's also charged how you earn a gold card. And you have to spend roughly $12,000 to earn a gold card if you're flying on Virgin Australia. Certainly the lounges are going to become a lot emptier, but seeing how busier it was, that may be a good thing.
Good afternoon, for best traveling to Senior Gate 863.
You know, I'm really quite impressed with the Virgin Australia Lounge in Melbourne.
Once again, for those best traveling to Senior Gate 863, this class number lounge number 8.
So there you are, that's a Virgin Australia Melbourne Lounge. Both a business class lounge, but also a member lounge, and add in a pay-in lounge as well with day passes if you want to, and you can afford it. Once you exit through either the little door at the back of the lounge or the sliding door at the front, it's just a short walk to your Virgin flights. However, there is a stop-off you can go past that's pretty unique for Melbourne Airport. It's called the Stomping Ground Brewery and Beer Hall inside the airport's Terminal 3, and it's the first working brewery inside an airport in Australia, and one of only 4 such breweries at airports in the world. The brewery tank's nicely set off against the airfield. Now, there is arguably something much more desirable at Melbourne Airport than an airport lounge pass.